My phone screen lit up, illuminating the darkened room. 3 words typed themselves out, letter by letter. I miss you. I hadn't even touched my phone. I swiped open my message history, a cold dread washing over me. There were dozens of them, conversations I never had, sent to a number I didn't recognize. I called the number, my heart pounding against my ribs. A voice answered, hesitant. Aiden, that's what he called himself. He sounded as confused as I was. He'd been receiving messages, too, from me, messages he knew I hadn't sent. He read one aloud, a string of inside jokes and shared secrets, but they weren't ours. We were strangers, yet our phones were weaving a tapestry of a life we'd supposedly lived together. It was like some digital ghost was puppeteering our lives, forcing a connection that didn't exist. Or did it? We decided to meet. Maybe seeing each other in person would break whatever spell we were under. We chose a small, quiet cafe downtown. He was already there when I arrived, staring at his phone with the same bewildered expression I'd been wearing for days. Familiar, but it vanished as quickly as it appeared, replaced by the cautiousness of a stranger. We sat in an awkward silence, the air thick with unasked questions. He finally broke it. He told me the messages on his phone talked about our first date, a walk through a park I'd never visited, a picnic under a willow tree I'd never seen. My phone had messages about him, about his childhood dog, Buster, and the scar above his eyebrow from a biking accident when he was 10. How could my phone know that? How could his phone know my secret love for old black and white films? It was like the glitch knew us better than we knew ourselves. We were two strangers, yet our devices held the intimate diary of a deep shared history. I scrolled through my phone again, my thumb hovering over a picture I didn't remember taking. It was me and Aiden laughing, our heads close together. The background was a beach at sunset, the sky painted in hues of orange and purple. We looked happy. We looked in love. A wave of dizziness hit me. The photo glitched, the colors warping. Aiden's face momentarily replaced by a string of code before it snapped back to normal. Aiden grabbed his head, groaning. The lights in the cafe flickered violently, and our phones. It's happening again, he whispered, his voice strained. It felt like my own memories were flickering, fighting against another set that weren't mine. Was this just a tech malfunction, or was something being rewritten? Were these messages a bug, or were they fragments of a life that was stolen from us? We decided to go to the park his phone had mentioned, the one with the willow tree. Maybe if we saw it, something would click. The park was real, just as the messages described. And there it was, a massive ancient willow tree, its branches weeping towards the ground. As we got closer, I felt a strange pull, a sense of déjà vu so strong it was disorienting. Aiden stopped walking. Carved into the bark, faded with time, was a heart. Inside it, 2 sets of initials, our initials. I reached out and touched the rough bark, tracing the letters. A jolt like static electricity shot up my arm. A flash of an image seared into my mind. Aiden, younger, carving this very heart. Me, standing next to him, laughing. It was a memory. But it wasn't mine, or was it? I stumbled back, my head spinning. Aiden rushed to my side, his face etched with concern. He said he saw it too. The same memory, from his perspective. It was impossible. We had never been here together. We had never met before this week. We started digging. Not into our phones, but into our pasts. We pulled out old photo albums, yearbooks, anything that could prove we had lived separate lives. On the surface, everything checked out. Different high schools, different circles of friends, different family vacations. There was no overlap. Not a single thread connecting us. It felt like we were living a double life. In one, we were strangers. In the other, we were soulmates with a lifetime of shared experiences. One night, I was looking at an old family photo from a beach trip. Suddenly, the image wavered. For a split second, my brother's face was replaced by Aiden's, I dropped the photo, my hands shaking. The system wasn't just on our phones anymore. It was in my head. It was changing my past. I called Aiden, my voice trembling. He picked up on the first ring. Before I could even speak, he said, "I think I remember you." I don't know why, but I remember. The next day, a package arrived at my door. No return address. Inside was a sleek silver device, no bigger than a credit card. There was no brand name, no instructions, just a single glowing button in the center. A note was attached, typed in the same font as the messages on our phones. It read, "The past is a program. It can be debugged." An identical package had arrived for Aiden. We met at my apartment, the two devices sitting on the coffee table between us, a silent, ominous presence. What was this? A fix? A trap? Were we supposed to press the button? What would happen if we did? Would it erase the glitch, or would it erase us? The phantom memories were becoming overwhelming. I'd catch myself humming a song I'd never heard, only for Aiden to tell me it was our song. He'd finish my sentences, knowing what I was about to say before I did. We were becoming the people from the messages. Our individual identities slowly being overwritten by a shared, fabricated history. We were losing ourselves. His expression was a mixture of fear and a strange, desperate hope. "Maybe this is the only way," he said softly. "Maybe we have to go forward to get back to what we had." But what did we have? A real past or a beautiful lie? My finger hovered over the glowing button. My own memories felt faint, like a dream I was struggling to hold on to. The memories of us, of a life with Aiden, felt vibrant, real, and full of love. A part of me, a terrifyingly large part of me, wanted them to be real. I wanted the picnic under the willow tree, the laughter on the beach at sunset. We were standing on a precipice with a choice that could either restore our reality or shatter it completely. My phone buzzed on the table. A new message. We both looked down at the screen. It wasn't a memory this time. It was a command. Memory sync required. And a countdown timer appeared. We had 10 minutes. The timer was a threat and a promise. 10 minutes to decide. Do we press the button and initiate the sync? Or do we let the timer run out and see what happens? Panic set in. What did a memory sync even mean? Would it finalize the merge, making the fabricated past our only reality? Or would it wipe the slate clean, returning us to being strangers, but with the haunting echoes of a love we never truly had? Aiden was pacing the room, running his hands through his hair. "This can't be real," he kept muttering. But it felt real. The connection between us, the phantom familiarity, it was more real than anything I'd felt in a long time. I looked at him, really looked at him, past the confusion and the fear. And in his eyes I saw it again, that flicker of recognition. But this time it stayed. It was a look of someone who had found something they thought they had lost forever. The timer on my phone beeped, showing 5 minutes remaining. My heart hammered in my chest. I thought about my life before the messages. It was fine, stable, lonely. The system had shown me a different possibility. A life filled with a kind of connection I'd only ever dreamed of. Was it a lie worth living? I grabbed my keys. "Let's go," I said. Aiden stopped pacing. "Go where?" "The timer is still counting down. We have to do something." "I know," I replied, my voice steadier than I felt. "We're going to where it all started. Not the park, not the cafe. We're going to the place from the very first message my phone sent you, the one about the observatory." The message had described a night we spent under the stars, making wishes on shooting stars. It was a place I'd never been. Aiden nodded slowly, understanding dawning on his face. If our past was a program, then maybe the source code was still there. We raced out of the apartment, leaving the strange silver devices behind. The drive was a blur. The clock on the dashboard was a torturous reminder of the seconds ticking away. 2 minutes left. We pulled up to the observatory, perched on a hill overlooking the city. We ran up the steps, bursting through the doors just as the timer on my phone hit 30 seconds. The main observatory room was empty, dominated by a massive telescope pointed at the domed ceiling. It was dark, except for the faint glow of the control panels. 10 seconds. 9. 8. We stood in the center of the room, breathless, waiting. 7. 6. 5. What were we expecting? For everything to reset? For an answer to appear out of thin air? 4. 3. 2. 1. 0. The timer disappeared. For a moment, nothing happened. The silence was deafening. Then a single soft chime echoed through the room. The main screen of the observatory flickered to life. It wasn't showing stars. It was showing a video file. A progress bar appeared beneath it. Memory restoration complete. On the screen, a video started to play. It was us, Aiden and me. We were younger, standing in this exact room. We were wearing lab coats. We weren't on a date. We were scientists. And we were standing in front of a machine, a complex array of wires and glowing consoles. The past us looked at the camera. I remember my own voice speaking from the screen. The memory transfer is ready. If this works, we can give people back what they've lost. We can restore connections. We weren't the subjects of the experiment. We were its creators, and something had gone terribly, terribly wrong. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to see what happens next in our story.